Hello everyone. My name is Ayush. I am a 2022 GP Amravati pass out student. And today in this session, I will be guiding you towards how you can develop various skills while doing your diploma. And at last, I will be guiding you towards web development, as web development was my part of interest, or I am doing web development from at last 2 years from the second year of my diploma. So, why navigating your diploma, a roadmap for acquiring in-demand skills. So, today in this presentation, we will see how you can achieve various skills while doing your diploma. So, this will be the agenda of today's introduction. Then I will be telling you some skills which exist in market. Then how you can maximize these skills. Then how you can practice various skills, and how to manage both doing your diploma studies and that skills. And then at last I will be telling you why showcasing your skills is important, and at last then conclusion. So introduction. Why develop skills during diploma? As you know, our diploma program is of 3 years. Mainly first year we go through the process of learning everything, why how we, diploma works. We are from the 10th and ninth background. We doesn't know how everything is coming. We only from studying, but no does not know anything about skills. But while doing 3 years diploma, it is important that you, especially when it comes to computer engineering, you must know some sort of software skills which are required in market. For example, in first year we have in first year second semester we have subject known as C and HTML in the first year itself. So if we either learning the C and HTML as a subject only, we can learn it as a interest by putting our interest in it. If we have if we can be able to develop interest in coding from that point of starting, as we cannot say that it doesn't have coding background. From the first year itself we have coding background. We can start learning C++, HTML, like that part in first year. In second year, we can do various advanced stuff, such as we can do more in so we can explore object-oriented programming, etc. things. So in second year is the most important part for our development in diploma, where we can expose to various skills. In third year, is very important for you. You hello. Okay. In third year, it is very
Yes,
important
Ayush.
for you. Okay, okay. In third year, you have to manage both of the things. Your development means your skills development part as well as your studies. Because you know, my friends, because your third year marks are very important in point of view get college. Good college means good environment, and good environment means good development. Means your development, when you come to an environment where you are uh, development, you get to know to uh, then identify key skills. So in this presentation, I will be showcasing you some of the skills which are important while doing your diploma. So web development, app development, database, cloud computing, blockchain, competitive coding, cyber security, AI and ML. So today in this session, I will be focusing on web development only, as I'm a web developer. But it's my main goal to introduce you to various skills which are available in the market. So what is web development? Web development is all about developing websites, web apps. Today in this world of digitalization, websites are one of the most important ways to do businesses, to communicate with people, to have interactions. We can say nearly more than 50 to 80% for Indian population has been digitalized. We are doing digital payments. We are ordering food online. We are doing business online. So everything is online. So if you identify that if everything is online, there must be some people who will be developing these websites, apps, etc. Means to maintain this infrastructure, there will be a huge demand of web developers in the market. So you can go to web development. Another skills you can pursue while having your diploma is app development. Most we can say that nearly 80 to 85% of people who are using mobile phones are on Android, and nearly 14 to 16% of people who are using mobile phones are on iOS. and very minimum people are today in this world are using basic handsets which does not have any operating system. So app development may be a big part if you take if you do starting app development, because app development also has huge demand in the market. For app development, you need to know there are three types of ways to develop apps. First is Android app development. Android app development basically talks about developing Android app using the native Android development languages such as Java or Kotlin. So Java is a language which was developed in 90s, but Kotlin is a language which is modified version of Java, which was introduced in Google Summit 2019. From that, Google is now supporting Java more than Kotlin more than Java, and Kotlin is preferred more towards developing Android apps. The next second way to develop Android app is using cross-platform application. So what is cross-platform development? So cross-platform development is about developing Android apps using Flutter, React Native, Ionic, etc. frameworks. So I think Om will guiding you towards what is framework thing means, what is the term framework means. But I will tell you in short. Flutter is a technology which is developed by Google to develop both Android as well as iOS app using single code base. In previous times, how it work was, you if you want to develop Android app, you have to do Kotlin, Java, and if you want to develop iOS applications, you have to develop it using Swift programming language, which is developed by Apple itself. But now in the market, the frameworks are there. So Flutter is a framework by which you single code means there is a language, Dart language is there in existent, which is used, which single language can be used to develop both Android platform applications as well as iOS platform applications. So you can go towards app development. App development is also emerging field. For database, there are various database exist in the market. Database is a backend. For backend, database is a very important part. So for database, you can use that. There are mainly two types of database used in market for currently. Two types of database are tabular database and non-tabular. So in our syllabus, in our diploma syllabus, we studied the structured database, which is known as structured query language, which is also known as SQL, and SQL database. And you can also learn about there is another type of database which is known as unstructured database or non-structured database, which is MongoDB. So I will be telling you MongoDB more about MongoDB in upcoming slides. Next is cloud computing. So to exist or to host all these developed apps, websites, AI/ML codes, etc., means all the programming language we cannot save it in our local machine. To reach it to the people around the globe, we have to host all these technologies somewhere location. So that hosting platform we can hosting part is managed by cloud computing to be the website app 24/7 live without any error, without any lag. The technology which is used to make it live is known as cloud computing. Next skill you can learn is blockchain. So blockchain, what is blockchain? Blockchain is a emerging trends where it is known as decentralized networks. Means how it works in today's world is like Facebook is a huge company. Facebook has our data stored in the servers of Facebook, but blockchain doesn't work like that. Blockchains, there are very small peers involved in that chain. That peers are connected to each other, and the data is that data is in the form of smart contracts, and each smart contract is shared by all the peers. And you may get to know about blockchain. You also have a course named as emerging trends in computer technology, where you can get more details about blockchain. Then next is computative coding. uh, if we think about computer engineering field, and most about if we think about placements or developing logic, computative coding is important. You should know about as you in the 3 years, we can say that as a diploma student we learn each and every language which is important in other in future field. But if you think about an engineering student, they does not learn about any languages. But so this is advantage to us that we learn C++, Java, .NET, Python, advanced Java, etc. languages. So this we have plus point over them. So you can start doing competitive programming. So as you know that you have Python included in your current curriculum. So not only doing Python for that curriculum part only, you can use websites such as HackerRank, CodeChef. I will suggest you to go to HackerRank. It is a website, hackerrank.com, where you can test your Python skills. Means you will be get practiced about that competitive coding also, and you will be get prepared for your syllabus also. Then another domain is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a domain which is not touched by many of them, as I also not do not I also not know much about cybersecurity. But cybersecurity is a much important domain, because there are various cyber frauds are rising, so you can go into cybersecurity. And last domain is AI ML. I know as a diploma student, AI ML is a topic which we can say which is hard to us, because we are at not that much level of competitive programming. But we can learn programming and learn the basics of AI ML, and we can implement it later. So how to learn any skill means, if we want to learn any skills, there are three major parts of learning any skills: observe, practice, and refine. So what is observe? To learn any skills, for let's say example of web development. If you want to learn web development, what you can do is go very first task is go and simply Google search what is web development. You cannot learn everything from tutorial or any other. The most important way or most easiest way is to learn any skill is observe. If any of your friend is doing web development, just go and observe him, what he is doing, what he have learned. For example, if web development, you will need to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then MERN stack, then database, etc. things. So first step in learning any skill is to observe. You need to observe your friends who are doing that part which, or that skills which you want to person. If there is a reason that nobody in the classroom is doing, for example, if you are to do cyber security but nobody in your classroom is doing cyber security, the most and best way is to go on YouTube, search for the channels which are teaching or which are doing cyber security. Go get engaged with that channels which are who are doing that. So you if your college is not providing you that environment, or it is missing something, you can yourself develop that environment by watching YouTube and making online friends. There are various there is a concept like online community. uh, I don't know many of you have listened or not. There is a community named as Blue Learn. Many are communities exist in Discord server. There is a Discord named app where many communities exist. What is meant by community? Community is a group. As there is a WhatsApp group, there is a like huge group of students from various parts of various colleges of our India. For example, there are some students from PICT, some students from COEP, some VJTI, some Mumbai colleges, some from IIT, PITS, etc. So this by engaging with these communities, there are various domains. All these domains which I told you are exist in their community, so you can get connected and learn. Then another steps to acquire or get any skill is practice. You need to practice. If you learn something, for example, today you learned how to create a website or a website UI using HTML and CSS. It is not only that you watch that tutorial and you do, but the next thing is to practice. You can practice and implement that thing using your own idea. If your mother and father is engaged in some work, for example, I will share my experience. As my father has shop, so when I learned web development, I tried to create only UI. It is not necessary that it may be fully functional or everything working. I developed a website for my father's shop. It was very dumb website as from today's my perspective of skills, but that time when I developed, I was in the second year of my diploma. I stay awake for a whole night and develop that website for my father's shop. So whenever you practice, whenever you try to develop, you may get interest in that skills and technology, and then it will be easy. Either if you will start doing some skills today and you will stop doing after 3 to 4 days. Then next step after doing a lots of practice is refine. If you have developed and practiced much web development, then the step is refine it, try to get mastery in it. So these are the three steps. Then again, practice makes perfect. You know that you have to practice. If you have error, you can search online, join community, etc. Then you can yes, supplemental skills development. Now there are 2 points: additional resources and time management. So in additional resources, you may question me about like in this diploma I have to study also all the curriculum, and I have to do coding also. So how can I manage? So the best way to manage your coding skills and study is, when you are doing your micro project, do it seriously, do the micro project on your own. Yeah, you can take the idea on YouTube, idea from internet, but don't just copy paste the code. If you are going to copy paste the code of yourself, or you are taking your any code from the seniors and just doing some minor changes and displaying it your teacher, it may see that it will be easy for you. But unless and until you get tough, you get challenges while doing coding, you will not get exposed to coding, how it everything works. So additional resources I suggest you in this month, in this February March, 3 to 1, our Amravati has various engineering colleges: Sipna College, Rammege College. These colleges, what do they do? They have various events there. For example, in my case, when I was in my first year of diploma, me and my friends, means Om and me, we went to Sipna for web development hackathon or competition. And the fun thing is, we didn't know single line of JavaScript. We only know HTML and CSS. We went there. We have lack of confidence, but still we went there. We analyze the problem statement. There we have to develop a website for college. So we try to clone our college website, GP Amravati websites itself. And yeah, surely we didn't create any prize for that. But what the thing is, while doing that 3 hours hackathon, we get to know about how we face the challenges. Means, where do we lack? We get compete with the engineering students who are studying in the first year, second year, third year of their engineering in Sipna College, Rammege College, PR Pote College. Talent is also there present. So when we compete with them, we get to know about, oh, there is JavaScript named technology, there is Node.js which is backend, there is PHP, there is MySQL, etc. database. But when we got to know about this technology, we came back, we again started refining our skills. And the most good part, we can say every part has good things as well as bad things. So there was a lockdown which has good impact as well as bad impact. The good impact was, we will have to do less study of our curriculum, so we invest that time in doing coding programming, so which helped us. So I get refined all that lack of skills which I see during my hackathon. So I refined it, I work hard on it, and I practice it, and get to know about web development. So next point is, after additional resources, so this way you can learn this web development, etc. So next part is time management, how you can manage time during your diploma studies and coding. So you can have a minimum 1 hour to 2 hours daily basis to do some part of coding. If you are not doing coding, if you are not getting time, or you are not in a place you can code, you can just search you on YouTube and try to listen some videos which are telling about it. Means that means the motive is only to be engaged with what skill you are trying to pursue. When you will be able to engage with that skills, for example, if you have to do cyber security, be engaged with. Every time when you try to watch something on YouTube, instead of watching that reels, be try to watch reels on cyber security. Means that will help you to get engaged. Unless and until you not get engaged, you will not be able to learn any skills. So this is what a supplemental skill development. Then showcasing your skills. Now after getting a good amount of skills, means it is not that you will get 100% skills. The part is, you may know some amount of skills is also better, because you are only at third year of diploma. You are, means you are similar to the first year student of engineering. You always have advantage that you always have experience of 3 years of coding as compared to another student. So it will help you in further engineering also. So what is showcasing your skills? If you have skills, but nobody knows that in your class you have skills of web development, but in class nobody knows that you have skills of web development, your faculty doesn't know you have a good skill of web development, then I think you lack sometime somewhere. Because unless and until the peoples around you will not know you have skills, they will not notice you. And unless and until they will not notice you, will be not get recognition is also important. When the people around you knows yourself, it helps you. If for example, in my case, my one of my friend was that is Parth, you may know him. Parth was doing Android app development and I was doing web development. So Parth know that Ayush is doing web development, so he got some freelancing projects. And what he did is he give that freelancing project to me, because that freelancing project was in web development and he knows that he is doing web development. So what he happened here is, if I didn't showcase that I have good web development skills, I will be not able to get that freelance projects. So it's very important to showcase your project. Means if you have only skills and you are not showcasing it to others, it's not worth it. So how you can showcase your skills? Tell others, okay, what you are doing. Also get knowledge from others what they are doing. Be means create an environment in class itself by sharing your skills. Then you can create your resume. Always be there that in the condition that you may have your one page of resume ready. Means there may be any time condition that you have to apply for internship, you have to give someone in resume, so your resume must be ready. And if you are doing web development, try to build a simple portfolio website. Then linkedin in today's world, LinkedIn is a very famous social media application. As you know, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn also important. As you can say that LinkedIn is a Instagram for professionals, or who are you are as a college student, you must have an account for LinkedIn. You get various companies, various peers. By means by joining LinkedIn, you can see that what other people of your age or your seniors are doing in that their life. If for example, in any skill such as web development, if you are in LinkedIn, if any of your senior, any of your friend, any of your connection who is from another college is also from LinkedIn, if he shares something that he has done some certifications in that web technology, or he has done some project, he always share it on LinkedIn. So when you see that LinkedIn profile, you get to, oh, that this can be also done. You can get inspired from that. And the next part is taking hackathons and competitions. So you can go for various hackathons and competitions organized. There I will told you some resources. There is a site known as Devfolio, Devpost, etc., where you can search for hackathons. All these hackathons arrange online. You just need to submit your project, and if your project is liked by the judges, you get prize on it. So in this way you can develop your skill, and this is the basic path to acquire any skills, and this will develop you. And next part, conclusion, I conclude this basic path how you can acquire any skills in your 3 years of diploma. So the conclusion is there are three simple steps to acquire any skills: observe, practice, and refine. You know, observing, I told you about how you can observe. Use YouTube, friends, then your seniors. Observe what they are doing. Try to achieve that. Then practice. If you are doing any web development, practice how you are going to solve any problem. You can develop website for your mother. You can if your mother is doing some work, you can develop a website for that. If your parents are doing some work, if your father is a farmer, then you can develop a website related to farm. Means observe the environment around you and try to develop or try to implement your skills in that. Then refine. If you have good skills, then now try to refine it. Now try to fix the issues which are you getting. Then and start doing practices. If you stuck at any time, please make sure that you can ask me and other seniors who are there in that skills. So thank you, that's it from my side. Now I will ask my friend Om to share his thoughts or his PPT. Thank you.
Okay. So, hello everyone. I am Om Panchayate. I am an alumni of GPA and currently pursuing my bachelor's degree from PSIT Pune. As I told about all the web technologies, now I will give a basic idea about frameworks. So, as we all know that do great in web development, you need to learn various technologies. By using these technologies, the development of the web application becomes so easy and the output we get is so satisfying and attractive too. Now, there are various programming languages that can be used for development, such as Python, PHP, Java, Servlet, ASP, JavaScript, and many more. But if you develop web application only using this programming languages from scratch, then it will be very time consuming and will be so exhausting. So to overcome this problem, there are certain frameworks which are built on these programming languages. Now the question is, what is meant by framework? So a framework is a collection of pre-written code or software libraries that provide a standardized structure and set of rules for developing applications and programs. It provides certain tools and functions that developers can use to build applications and systems more efficiently and consistently. In other words, framework is a combination of certain components and packages. To build a web application, there are certain things that you need ready-made, and this is provided by the frameworks. Like it can be all the dependencies and components or packages. So by using framework, we don't have to develop our application from scratch each time because it gives us a already written code. So which means you only have to change some of the already written code and also write your own logic for building the whole project. Framework provides us many functions which make it more easy to develop an application. Example, traditionally we use queries for interacting with the database. You have all encountered with the database related queries. So, but in frameworks, functions are already defined for these queries and it becomes more easy to interact with the database. For example, to retrieve data from the database, we use select query, whereas there is a function named filter in Django framework, which is based on the Python language. Similarly, there are many functions for developing certain tasks provided by the frameworks. A framework also improves security and reduces the risk of errors. So what is Django framework? Django is a Python framework that makes it easy to create websites using Python. And Python is a very easy language for learning unless and until you go for the ML part, that is machine learning part. Then Django is a free and open source framework that which means anyone can access it and use it and develop their web application. Django is based on the MVT architecture. Traditionally means many of the frameworks are based on the MVC architecture, which is model, view, and controller. But Django is based on MVT architecture, which is model, view, and template. The model is a component of a web application that acts as a link between the user interface and the database. The view is the web application. The view is the web application's user interface, and it includes elements such as HTML, CSS, and other front-end technologies. And a template, when you need to create a dynamic website for a complex operation or functions, templates may make it easy to do so. In simple language, model interacts with the database, view contains files for UI, and template controls everything in your project. Then Django is basically used to handle the backend part. Django take care of difficult stuff so that you can concentrate more on building your web application rather than wasting your time to do that difficult stuff. Now the question is, why we should use Django? So Django is fast, which means if you want to build anything, then you don't have to spend more time in just configuring your project, as the configuration part is already done by the framework itself. So second is Django has frameworks. Now consider you have to record a video. Then you need certain components like camera, mic, lights. In, in the same way, to build a web application, you need to have a login, database connectivity, and many more other components. And all this is provided by the Django framework. Then third point is security. If you want to build a web application where user interacts with the website, then of course there will be sending data from client to the database or database to the client, and this data needs to be secure. And Django has the functionality, hence it is more secure. Fourth point is scalability. Now if you want to scale your web application, like you want to have a multiple users, wants to add more features, then Django allows you to do it so easily. The fifth is easy. So Django is based on the Python framework. So it is more easy to learn Django and learn Python language first and then Django. Then the features of Django. Django provide its own SQLite database. Traditionally, while using PHP, we use MySQL database in localhost, but Django provides its own SQLite database. The second is Django provides is its development server. So traditionally we use PHP. When we use PHP, we use XAMPP server, but Django has its own development server, which is so fast. So when we do any changes in the application, so it reflects more fast and rapid changes on the website. So the third is Django provides its own admin feature where you can see all the data from the database, and we can also modify this admin panel according to our need, and it gives access to all the features of the Django. We can also say that in admin panel we can also store the login of other users and all other functionalities of that application. Fourth is it is versatile. Django is a versatile framework that can be used to create application in a variety of domains. Companies are now using Django to create a variety of applications such as content management system, social networking sites, and scientific computing platforms. Now, who are using Django? I said that we should use Django, but who are using it in the market? So Mozilla is one of the most popular web browser. They switched from PHP to Django framework and can now handle higher number of traffic and API requests. Then second is Instagram, as you all know what is Instagram. Then third is Pinterest, which is used for sharing the images. So the next is Django is really great framework for developing a web application, and I suggest you to learn it. And you have Python language this semester, or you will learn it in the next year. So you will be more comfortable with it soon. I have also listed some of the YouTube channels for learning Django. You can go through it. And Django is also used for building an API. So I can give you a simple idea about what is API. So consider a server as an hotel, customer as a client, and API as an waiter. When you ask for some data or anything to a web application, the request goes to the server and API serves the result to the client. You can also use APIs for Android development too. So it's better you can go through Django frameworks, and here are some resources for learning. So thank you.
Thank you, Om. Any questions from audience for Om or Ayush? If you are having any questions, you can ask.
Any question you can ask, maybe it related to web development or another. Please be frank.
Okay, I think no, there are no questions from the audience as of now, but they have any questions, they will connect. So,
Okay, sir. Sir, sir, can I tell something about Munstack or everything if anybody
sure,
is interested?
sure, no problem at all.
Okay. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So in while developing websites, there are various technologies which can be used. Traditionally, before 10 years, we can say that PHP was very powerful language or tool to develop websites. But nowadays, various MNCs and companies are switching from PHP to Django and Munstack. So Django, Om has explained everything in great details about Django. Now I will tell you the another framework which is used which is collection of technologies which is used to develop websites, which is known as Munstack. What is Munstack? So Munstack is nothing but it is a combination, or we can say collection of various technologies. There in market before 2016, a very popular framework was MeanStack. So what is MeanStack? Uh, MeanStack was MongoDB, Express, Angular, and Node.js. But this nowadays we are heading towards MERN-stack. So what is MERN-stack? So MERN stands for MERN. So M means Mongo. MongoDB, as I told you, is a database which is not structured, which is not in a tabular form. Then Express.js. What is Express.js? Express.js is nothing but a library developed in JavaScript language itself, which is used to handle all the HTTP requests. Means if you go to the working of any website, a website works like it creates and get or post requests to the server. Then the server responds that request with some code or some HTML file. So to send or receive that code or to make that request, Express.js is used. Then another technology is React.js. Before React.js, we were working like that. We were using HTML, simple HTML. But what React has done, React has optimized the way we design our UI. And next is N for Node. So N for Node means Node.js is a framework or a library developed using C++, which uses JavaScript. Means the all the coding of Node.js is mainly done in C++ programming language, but we work with JavaScript on the Node.js. So Node.js is there for before some years only PHP was used as a backend language and JavaScript was limited to the front end only. But the developers came up with the idea that JavaScript can be used for backend also, so that the developer does not need to learn two different languages. And there was also some flaws, some security flaws in PHP, which is overcome by Node.js. So these four techs are used to develop a website. Then that website is known as a MERN stack website, or the person who knows all the four stack is known as MERN stack developer: MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. So MongoDB, as I told you about MongoDB, so what MongoDB does, MongoDB is the structure of a database, or as we have table in as we have table in our structured query, means SQL or structured database. Here in MongoDB we have collections, and each collection has one entry. So this is some part of an entry in this collection. So here the data is stored in the form of rows, keys and value, key value pair. As if we see, the data in a structured database is stored in form of columns and rows, but here in MongoDB the data is stored in the form of keys and values. For example, there is key name first name and value is Jane. So in MongoDB, we see that data is stored in non-structured format. So this overcomes that problem. If there is some data which is not applicable to every entries in the database, we here MongoDB is a solution for that. Then what is Express.js? I told you about Express.js. Express.js is about uh, to do all that HTTP part. For example, in this simple code, which is not easy to understand right now, but I am just telling for handling all the requests. For example, if any user visits on google.com slash, so what to respond on slash, we have to respond with this message: welcome to simple learn. So when a user goes on a route slash home, means google.com slash home, so we have to respond with welcome to simple learn's homepage. You can also observe this thing in our college website gpamravati.ac.in slash. When we go to slash, we get that index page of our site. So that what to respond on what request is all everything is managed by express.js. When we go to gpamravati.com or .ac.in/login, we see that login page for student. So this everything is managed by express.js, which is a JavaScript library. So what is React? React, we can say it is JavaScript framework which uses JSX. So what is JSX? JSX is JavaScript extensible markup language like that, where we use similar to HTML, which looks very similar to HTML, but it is not HTML in true format. Where what React does is divide the websites in different components. For example, this below is a website, and here are the components: this circle, triangle, then lines, and another box. So what React does, React divides these components in different JavaScript pages, and we call the components as we use in functional programming language. We call the functions whenever we need it. So we doesn't need to copy the code, or we avoid the copying of code or repetition of code. That repetition is also avoided in React by using components. We use various components. For example, navbar, we create a component called navbar. Whenever we need the navbar, we just call that navbar. We doesn't need to write that much of HTML code again and again. So this is the use of React, and React also has many use cases that it simplifies UI development. Then Node.js. Node.js is the we can say main behind all this Mon stack. Node.js handles everything from doing. We can integrate artificial intelligence (ML) with the help of Node.js. All the server side things are managed by Node.js. Database connectivity, Express.js means all Express.js, MongoDB, all the packages are exist in Node.js. So Node.js is behind that. Then how to learn web development? You can get started with HTML, CSS in first week. In the second week, in second 2 to 3 weeks, you can learn JavaScript. In another 4, 5, 6 weeks, you can means on in a 1 month you can learn Node.js, and then React.js, and then MongoDB. So this is a simple path which you can follow to learn web development. Then while learning web development, two things are most, or as a computer engineer you must know about these two technologies. These are very much important. You cannot survive in the market without these two technologies. That two technologies is Git and GitHub. So what is GitHub, Git and GitHub? So first there is Git name concept. So what is Git? Git was also developed by Linus Torvalds, where they came up the idea that when they were working on a project, they have to record each and every version change in a project. For example, you are working on a website, you develop that website and you host it, but the client told you about to do some changes. You make that changes in the website, then you again hosted the website. Then the client told that no, these changes are not looking good, I want to get my website back. Now what will you do? You will undo that code, all the code. That's not possible. You can have changes, lots of changes in that. So to manage that versions means that first version, then what you do change, then again next version. So to manage that version on your local machine itself, on your local machine you use Git. So Git is a tool which with the help of which you can manage all the changes, all the keep track of your all changes in the code using Git. Git is not only used for code. You can use your to manage Word file also, which you can get and revert back. Now another thing is GitHub. So what is GitHub? GitHub is an online website by Microsoft which uses Git as a remote machine. So you can deploy your or host your project, or you can keep your project on remote. So whenever you goes, you can get access of your project. So you can say Git is a local tool, while GitHub is a remote machine, remote website which manages all these GitHub projects. So you must learn Git and GitHub, which will be helpful when you are doing projects in collaboration. You can use GitHub concept to do that projects. Means you are doing some code, you can push that code to your main project, and your friend can also contribute. So GitHub is also important. Then important concept in web development is REST API, which is used in market on large scale. So what is REST API? See, there is a client. Client has his website running on his local machine, and there is a database. Now the simplest way to communicate from that client machine to the database is a REST API. So what REST API does is REST API go to the database. You can compare REST API with a waiter in hotel. So, for example, you are a customer in hotel, then database is the kitchen of that hotel. So what is REST API? REST API is a waiter in that hotel. REST API comes to the client. For example, that waiter comes to you. He asks you for what is your request. Then you told some request that I want paneer tikki. Then that waiter goes to the kitchen and says that he wants paneer tikki. So that kitchen processes on that paneer tikki, makes the paneer tikki, and the waiter again came back with paneer tikki and serves that paneer tikki to that customer. Like that REST API work. REST API, what does REST API does? REST API goes to the client, means client machine. For example, here I can show. For example, if I use this Zomato website, so this I am route on Pune, so it will be listing me all the things available in Pune. If I goes to pizza, so now the in the background it has there is a REST API which is working. REST API has gone to the database. It fetched all the pizzas or restaurants ordering pizza, and it has displayed it to me. So this is how the REST API works. But the REST API always responds in the form of JSON format. So what is JSON? JSON is also JavaScript object, ID and key. And this, when I receives all this data in the front end, I did nothing. I just displayed this data in beautiful format. But this is only the working of any website background. So that's it from my side.